Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's been a while since I've dropped a video. I've been busy. I'm sorry, I'm very sorry for that. But today I'm here to talk about something very interesting: sex toys. Sex toys and sexually transmitted infections, advantages of using sex toys, disadvantages of using sex toys. But before then, have you followed my page on Facebook, STI and Female Health Matters with Dr. Tinuade? I'm on YouTube, Dr. Tinuade, talking about sexually transmitted infections. You can subscribe to my channel. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. Just type my name, Ajani Tinuade, and my videos will pop up. So let's get into the business of the day: sex toys. So what are sex toys? Sex toys. They are devices, objects, materials, things that people use to enhance sexual pleasure, for sexual stimulation. And before I go on to talk about, give examples of sex toys, let me talk about sex furnitures. Those ones have been around since ancient times. They are like tables, chairs, things that are designed for sexual stimulation or to prolong sexual stimulation. For example, now, if there is a woman that all she wants in sex is her G-spot to be stimulated, that kind of woman can go and buy a kind of bed or chair that is just designed for that. So what I'm saying invariably is that sex furniture are designed in a way to help somebody achieve whatever aim she wants to achieve. Not even she, and even he, whatever aim he or she wants to achieve during sexual practices. And apart from sex furnitures, we have what we call sex swings. They're like normal swings in school. You know, that thing up and down, up and down. And how are they used? A woman will sit on them. I mean, those swings, a man can move around it. And one of the reasons why people use sex swing is because of backache. Most men that complain of backache when they're having sex, those people, they like using sex swings because they are not going to bend or anything. The woman is the one sitting on the swing, and the man can just move around, maneuver himself around. And now, going to sex toys proper, talking about examples of sex toys, we have things we call sex grinders. And sex grinders actually been since ancient times too, because some people have used it in the past for masturbation. But sex grinders are coming back. They're in the market now in different format, shapes. And what do they use them for? They're used for stimulation of the penis. A man can use sex grinder to stimulate his penis and masturbate, because when they use it, they ejaculate. I mean, men that use that sex grinders, the main purpose is for them to masturbate and eventually ejaculate. And we have sex grinders that people can use to stimulate the clitoris. So those sex grinders too can be used to stimulate the vulva. So when I talk about, when I'm saying clitoris is that fleshy part on the female private part, using a layman language now so that people can understand what I'm talking about. That upper part of a female genital side that is fleshy, that's the clitoris. So people use that to stimulate that area, and because clitoris is actually a sexual organ, so it gives them a kind of feeling that they feel like, oh, they are enjoying this sex better. Then the vulva, that's the real female private part. So people use it on those areas too for sexual stimulation. Even grinders, a couple can use it. We've seen grinders that are used between couples for sexual stimulation, especially if the female is somebody that maybe has like a weak libido. They can, so let's use sex grinders so that can help that woman and to enjoy sex. So those are sex grinders. Then we have the dildos. I'm sure every one of us, we are familiar with dildos. They are objects, they are materials. They are different from vibrators because we don't use battery for them. We don't plug them to electricity for stimulation. So, and they are in different forms, in different shapes, depending on what you want. Let me just give an example. There's one that has this double end, and this double end, I mean, two penetrative ends. So somebody can use it, two people can use it too. So those ones that I'm talking about, if a woman wants to use it now, let's just give an example. That woman can insert one end into her anus, insert another end into her vagina, and the person is enjoying herself. Or especially among women that have sex with women, somebody can use one end, insert into her own vagina, insert the other end into the vagina of her partner. So that's an example of dildos, but we have different forms. It's not all of them that are like that. And going from example of dildo. So going from dildo, let's talk about vibrators. Those ones, they use battery. People plug them to electricity. So that's the difference between dildo and vibrators. Like I've explained, we have different types of vibrators. Some, when you see them, you just think you're seeing a lipstick, but that's not it. So different ways that they are made just to enhance what the person has in mind. Maybe this person just wants a particular spot in her vagina to be stimulated, so she'll go and buy a vibrator that is designed for that. And the same thing with dildos, actually. And we have what we call artificial vagina. What's those ones? Those artificial vaginas, it's men that, they're the one that are used that most of the time. They just put their penis in that artificial those artificial vaginas, the way you look as if a man is having sex with a woman, penetrating a woman's vagina. We have artificial penis too. Those are for women. Those women, we use them to insert into the vaginas. Then we have nipples, the artificial. It's just like somebody is having oral sex, so somebody can just go buy those things. They look like normal a woman's nipple, and they begin to lick, they begin to suck like in oral sex. We have the inner toys too. You have one that you look like anus. So it's just like a man can use that too. A man can penetrate his penis into a toy that is looking like an anus, like that. And we have other ones. We have what we call inner butts. They're in different formats, made to represent human body, made to represent those sexual organs, and people buy them depending on their needs and what they want to achieve. So moving from that, let's talk about reasons, maybe advantages, why people use those things we're talking about. One of it is because some people feel, when they use them, they don't have sexually transmitted infections. At least they are not having sex with human being. But that's actually an erroneous belief. Some people use them because they have weak erection. So those things can actually help them to manage that weak erection, and they can enjoy sex. Some have they ejaculate very fast. So when people do that too, they have all these penile toys that can help them to prolong the ejaculation. People that have weak erections too, there's a way they do that. So there's a way they use those toys. So by the time they use them, the erection is prolonged, the ejaculation too is prolonged, they are enjoying themselves. Then for people with weak erection and they ejaculate very fast, even if they use it, their spouses too, we enjoy the sex better because it will take a long time. It can take a longer time than what it could have been if those sex toys are not being used. So those are reasons why people use them, because actually there are some medical conditions that make people have weak erection, reduced libido. That's like reduced desire to have sex. So people believe that these sex toys, they can solve some of this problem. And some people, what they want is they feel they don't reach orgasm when they're having sex with human being. So what they want to do is have sex by using sex toys. So that is that about that. Now, talking about the disadvantages, we have different disadvantages. One of it is addiction. Imagine somebody that is married and is addicted to using sex toys. Not using sex toys with a partner, because some people do that, like I've explained. But just using sex toys, there will be trouble in the house, because the other partner will not find it funny if the wife or the husband is addicted to using sex toys. So that can cause addiction, and it can cause something called desensitization. of the nerves, because what happens is that by the time you are using all these sex toys, when you use them, you are stimulating a nerve. So it's the nerve that is passing the message across into your brain that is being interpreted, oh, that you are enjoying this. But you see, the way it does to human being and vehicles and like that, it's the same thing with those nerves. Because by the time you are using the nerves, using at a point, the nerves are like, I'm tired. And they will stop responding. That's what we call the desensitization. That, sorry, pronouncing this very way, desensitization. So by the time you are doing that, the nerves are just like, please, you have been sensitizing me. I refuse to be sensitized. So the nerves will start, they will stop working. That's what I'm saying invariably. So other thing, they can get stuck, especially in the anus. They can get stuck in the vagina, and that's what we call foreign body. I mean, foreign body in different. In fact, because before, children can insert toys, things in their nose. It's like the same thing. Just view it like that. That the same way these toys can get stuck in somebody's vagina, can get stuck in somebody's anus, and there will be trouble. Because what happens is that if they are not removed at a point, it will stimulate bacterial growth. It start bringing out pus, and the bacterial growth, if it's overwhelming, can enter into the blood, cause what we call sepsis. And sepsis is not funny. In fact, by the time somebody is having sepsis, the person will start having fever, the person can get sick if not treated. You know, it can really lead to something very, very bad. So there can be sepsis because of that. And apart from that, there can be what we call allergy, because they are made of different materials, and most times, especially in this type of the world, many of us, we don't even know what we are allergic to, and that's the truth. Even me that I'm talking to you, I can't accept something. I know only one thing. So if you use some of these things, you can have an allergic reaction, and this allergic reaction can be mild, moderate, and severe. We have a type of allergic reaction that can lead to what we call anaphylactic shock, as something that can lead to death, maybe within few minutes and hours. We have that too. And apart from that, those toys, they are made, many of them are made from this chemical, this substance called PVC. And you see, PVC, I'm sure many of us might have read about it, is one of the chemical that is used in used by people in rubber industry. What do they use it for? Is to thicken the rubber. All these rubbers, all these things we use at home to make them thick and strong. And that substance has been linked to cancer. So repeated use of that can actually predispose somebody to cancer. That's what we're just trying to say. Like, it's like a risk factor for somebody to have cancer. Then apart from that, there can be just bacterial infections, because by the time people use these toys, and you know, the normal act of sex too can really be messy. By the time people use these toys, because there are bacteria everywhere. The manipulation, the sweat, the secretion, everything, and they are not well washed, it can stimulate bacterial growth, and the person will insert that into a genital area. These areas can be infected. You know, something like the female private part. On that female private part, that vulva, we have the opening to the bladder, we have the opening into the vagina as well. So if bacteria enter the opening to the bladder, it can go into the bladder, cause infection, and the person can have this what we call polyuria. The person will be urinating many times in a day. They can have what we call dysuria. They have difficulty in urinating. It can be painful. Their lower abdomen, they can have pain. I'm describing this symptom that if you have that, know that you have cystitis. It's one of the things we call urinary tract infection. So it's an infection that can happen especially because of the way the female vulva is close to the opening to the vagina. I mean, the opening to the vagina is close to the opening to the bladder in a woman vulva. So people can have that because of that. So another things that people can have apart from normal bacterial infection is sexually transmitted infections. Some people believe that if they are using sex toys, they are not prone to sexually transmitted infections. At least they are not having sex with human being. That is a lie. People can have sexually transmitted infection by using sex toys, especially when you are sharing it. And you know, sex toys are expensive. And we have cases in the hostels where people, they take sex toys there and they share it among themselves. So ideally, the bacteria that are responsible for sexually transmitted infection, they cannot stay outside the human body for a long time. Maybe within an hour they are dead. But it's possible for somebody to use it within that 1 hour of usage by somebody that is infected with something like, let's say, gonorrhea. If somebody has gonorrhea, ejaculate, release the secretion on that, another person is using it within 1 hour, that person will get infected and have gonorrhea. So sex toys does not provide anything, any protection against sexually transmitted infection, especially if it is shared. Then apart from that, many of these viruses, even if you wash it, if you are sharing sex toy, even if you wash it, some virus will still be on it. Why? Because there are some viruses, they are very stubborn. One of it is hepatitis B. They are very stubborn. If you use cold water or normal water to wash them, they will not go unless maybe you eat them or do some things like that. And apart from that, people that have wound in your mouth, you have wound in your vagina, because those sex toys can cause abrasion, they can cause wound. Imagine somebody like that using it, you can get infected. So if you have any question on this, you can contact me on my Gmail, Dr. Tino Ade, talking about sexually transmitted infection 023@gmail.com. You can contact me too on my business line 0811-7829-870. I will take that again, 0811-7829-870. Anyway, they say we should not be using O. So all those, so just count them as 0. Till another time, going to drop another video. It's been a nice time talking to you people. Bye.